Hello. So today we're going to go over some of the steps to help you with PeopleSoft. So in this video, we're going to go over the first thing is how to log into your PeopleSoft portal, which the first step is to go to mycollege.laccd.edu. And then we're going to go over two, how to calculate the correct daily attendance hours for your positive attendance in PeopleSoft. So every person has a certain amount of hours for depending if it's a 2 day a week class, 4 days a week, how many hours. We're going to go over how to calculate and put the correct number of hours into each day of attendance that your students are attending. And then on number 3, we're going to how to enter your daily attendance. So I'm going to show you, we're going to go over how to put your attendance for every student that is going to class for the days that they're into PeopleSoft. And then finally, we're going to show you how to submit your final attendance hours. So over here, the first step is right here. We're going to log into our PeopleSoft portal, which is going to be right here. So right here, we begin the video with entering PeopleSoft by going into the LACCD website. Okay, first thing, you go to log in over here with your username and your password. Once you're logged in, you'll go over here into the faculty homepage. You're going to click on Faculty Center. When you do that, you'll see your classes. Select the class you're going to do attendance for. I'll choose this one, for example. It's an older class I taught, but yeah, right here. So click on right here where it says positive attendance roster. Click there. Takes you here. This is where you're going to input your positive attendance for the week. You'll have to click on reopen roster. So click here and then the roster will open. This is where you'll put in your hours. Okay, this part, we're inside our positive attendance roster. So we'll have to start calculating how many hours we put in each day that a student attends class. So what we do is take our little trusty calculator and we look at our maximum hour for classes for the semester. Here it says 180. So we punch in 180. Now we divide it by how many weeks in the semester. This, for example, is a 16-week semester. We divide it by 16. We get 11.25. Now, how many days a week do you teach? For example, this is an old class I taught. It was 4 days a week. So we divide that by 4, and we get 2.81250. So you put 2.810, and that's what we put here for each day of class. We punch in. So for example, if this student here went to class 4 days a week, you push here, you click in the slot, 2.810, then you hit the tab button, or you can just put the mouse on the next slot. Tuesday, if they were in class on Tuesday that day, same thing, 2.810, tab. You can also highlight it, copy. Let's say they were in class on Wednesday, paste, hit tab, paste, and so on. And it automatically calculates on the side. And that's how you'll start calculating for the semester. So each day of class, a student attends class, you put in the hours that they're for that day, and you put it for each day of attendance. Okay, now I'm going to transition from this class online on PeopleSoft to another classroom that I have that I'm going to, again, show you how to input the positive attendance and do your final attendance hours. So I'm going to transition to that. But for you guys, you'll just click on here to go to Faculty Center, which will take you back to the main schedule. And now I'm going to transition to the next class I'm going to use to show examples of, once again, how to input the daily attendance and the positive attendance, and then to do your final hours in PeopleSoft. So here I'm going to click on to open the next classroom, but I'm going to use the same formula as I did for this classroom, where 180 hours, 2.81 2.81 hours per day, 4 days a week. I'm going to use that same formula with the class I'm going to show you an example of. But each person will have a different formula, but I showed you how to calculate that earlier. So now we're going to go to the next classroom. Watch here. Okay, so we're going to show you an example of how to do final attendance using this example over here, this site, this class. So this is week 1. We're just going to do just an example. I'm going to put these numbers in for these 4 students right here, the first 4 students. So for example, this student right here for number 1, let's just say they went 4 days a week. Each class is 2.810 hours. The total will be 11.24 hours that week. So what we're going to do is click right here, 2.810, hit the tab, and you'll have to give it a second. Don't go too fast. You have to think about PeopleSoft. You have to wait for it to catch up. Maybe a second or two between putting in the numbers. Let's say this person went 4 days. On the week 1, they went 4 days, the entire week, every day. So remember, you can also do that trick. You can copy and then paste. Tab, wait a second. Paste. Tab, wait a second. Paste. Tab. Okay, so you got 11.24. Now let's look at the next student here. The next student we'll say they went 3 days, for example. So number 2, the student here went 3 days. They went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then the next student went 2 days. Let's just say this student went 2 days right here. Number 3, Monday, Tuesday. And that's it. And the last student only went 1 day, Monday. Tab. Okay, so this is just an example of what we're going to do. We're going to save it right here. Save. Click on save. Takes a second right here. You can see the little, it's loading. Sometimes this could take up to a minute, so you have to be patient. There we go. So this data is now saved, but it hasn't posted yet. You want to post this. So you're going to click on pending, click on post. Now click save. Again, it'll tell you that all transactions posted are final and cannot be modified by faculty or by A&R staff. That is not exactly correct. You can still come back and make changes, just so you know. Don't worry about that. Go ahead and click OK. One more time. Remember, this could take a minute, so be patient, please. There we go. Now it's posted. It's posted because you can no longer interact with this. So this is just week 1. Now we're going to go to the last day of the semester, and we're going to calculate the totals. Okay, now we're going to go back and do our final attendance. So you're going to click right here, Faculty Center. We'll take you back here. And then on the class that you're teaching, I'm using this one now for the example. You'll click on Final Attendance Hours. Let's just say this is week 16, for example. You're going to click right here, Final Attendance Hours. Okay, so now we're in the final attendance roster. I'm going to show you what we did for this example to help you with your final attendance. So it's week 16, and we're going to put in our final attendance for the semester. So you click on final attendance roster over here. So in the example, we did for the first student went 4 days a week. The second student went 3 days a week. The third student went 2 days that week. And then the fourth student went only 1 day. This is the example we did. This is for a week, let's just say week 1. This is all they went. The entire semester, they only went the first week of class, and these were the days they went in a 4-day-a-week class, for example. Each class is 2.810 hours. So over here, now we go over here. So it's the end of the semester. Here's how many hours they went the entire semester. 11.24 hours, 8.43, 5.62, 2.81. So First thing we do, we click on copy and combine both. Right there, and it comes up right here. Now, I'm bringing up my pictures. There we go. So, these are the hours, yep, that they went for the first week. So it's week 16. They only went the first week of class, and these were the days that they went. So now you have to put here under last date of attendance. So for here, let's look at this. So this student right here, the first student, the last day of attendance class for this example was 8/29. So under last date of attendance, you click in here. This was 8/29. So we go to the 8th month. This example class, this was last semester, 8/26/2019. For you, it'll be the current year. But for this student, the 8/26/2019, the 29th. So you click August 2019, you click on the 29th. That was the last day they attended class. You have to put that information here. See, for this example student, 8/29, that was the last day they went to class, and they went 4 days. I put that here under last day of attendance. You're going to do that for each student in your class. The next student, this one right here, number 2, their last day was the 28th. So again, you'll click in here and also copy, paste, click here, and then change it to 28. And this student here was the 27th. And this student was the 26th. There. So we have, those are the dates that they had here. Yep. So these are the dates we have here for these students here. So you have to have their last dates, and then after you click copy and combine, it'll combine their final attendance hours for the entire semester. For this example, they only went the first week of class, but for you, the whole 16 weeks will be calculated right here. And any students that dropped out or didn't attend or only attended to like week 12 or week 15 or whatever, you have to put the last day they attended class here in the final attendance. I'll show you another command here. Let's just say, for example, everyone in your roster attended class and they all attended to the very last day of class. If you click on copy last day of class, automatically the last day of the class of that semester will show up right here. So for example, let's just say all the other students from number 5 on down, they went to the very last day of class, which is the 15th of this semester for the example 2019. However, these students only attended the first week, remember? So the rest of the students, you can have them correctly, and then you can go back up here. Again, this student attended the 29th, the 28th, 27th, 26th, and so on. So this is a good trick here. If you do copy the last date, it'll automatically put the very last day of class in the last date of attendance. It's helpful for if most of your students attended till the very end. But if you have students that only attended to week 12, week 15, week 7, week 4, week 1, you'll have to go to those individuals and change the date like I did with these first 4 students. But if the majority already went to the very last day, then this little trick can, you don't have to modify their last day of class. And that's one way to help you finish up this part of the last day of attendance. Another trick to help you, let's just say, for example, this automatically puts the last day of attendance for your class is the 15th of December for 2019, for example. But what if the last day of your class is actually December 12th? It happens. So if that happens, you can use this option here, prompt for date. Click here, and then you actually have to physically put the last day of your class. So I could just put, for example, 12/12/2019. by doing that, now everybody in the class, their last day of class is now the 12th of December instead of the 15th. The 15th is the default, but if your actual last day is another date, this way we'll do the same thing. Everyone in the class will have the last day as the 12th. Except, of course, the first 4 students here who have to be changed to 8/29, 8, 7, and so on. So again, if the majority of your students went to the very last day of class, which for this example is the 12th of December, not the 15th, which is the default, if you hit on copy last day of class, then you have to physically change the last day of class to the day of the actual day of your class. You put it right here, everybody changes to that last date, and then you just go down the list, and anyone else who, their last day of class was week 12, week 7, and so forth, you'll put the last day of their attendance here to correct that and go down the list. Complete your final attendance. Once you have all copy and sum both, put all your final positive attendance hours here, and your last day of attendance is corrected with all the students. First, you'll save. Click on save. Right here it says save, so now this is saved. Then you want to go here to posted, and again hit save. So it cannot be modified, but you can always go back and change if you need to. And now it says status posted. And this is how it's posted here. And this is how you do your final attendance for your class for the whole semester. And then you'll take a screenshot on your computer like this, so that the screenshot says where it says roster status posted. So now you can submit that to email that to your department chair, so they or the dean, so that they know that your final attendance hours are posted here in PeopleSoft.